And welcome to Daytona International Speedway here for the last race in the Racers Elite Super Speedway Series. I am joined here. Well, if I can get my thing to pull up, I'm joined here again by Mike. Close points battle down the line. Who do you think's going to take it home? Will it be Teft or will it be somebody else?
Let me tell you what, it is super speedway racing. It's anybody's game to win at this point. Um, Teft or Norris both can get into some trouble at any point in this race and possibly drop them completely out of the race, at the end of the day. I mean, it's possible, that third place could always have that chance, but we'll have to see how it comes at the end of the day. So it's still anybody's game up at this point, but it's going to be between Andrew and Austin. I'm leaning towards the underdog here. I'm going with Austin.
It's hard to bet against Teft. Teft always seems to be up front at these races, but I mean, it is anybody's game. I'm gonna pull up the qualifying results here, and that's not the very top. Let me get that out. So first is Kirby Wainscott. Second is Andrew. Truth Hoke. Third, Aaron Marcus. Fourth, Andrew Ted. Fifth, Brett Bray. Sixth, Jack Kelly. Seventh, Danny Jackson. Eighth, Troy Thomas. Ninth, Steve Castle. 10th, Frank Chavez. 11th, Barry Nelson. 12th, Pete Polini. 13th, Austin Norris. 14th, Alan Carter. 15th, Stephen Blevins. 16th, Mike Fudge. 17th, Dennis Kane. 18th, Timothy Eisburn. 19th, Steve Vest. Here today as these drivers are getting ready to pull off a pit road. I'm going to see if I can get a filter on this because right now it is relatively dim. So let me see if I can pull up my color correction. That does something to it there. Let me adjust this because that is way too bright on my contrast, I think. Gamma is way off. I'm going to try to make this a little bit more viewable just because of how dark it is on the track at the moment. It is very, very dark here. Set the saturation to 0 evidently because that is not what I need.
This here is absolutely one of my favorite things to watch. I live only 20 minutes from this racetrack. I've been there multiple times. And my best thing I always look forward to is not the Daytona 500, believe it or not, Bryce. It is the trucks under the light at Daytona. There is something about trucks, nighttime, and Daytona.
Yeah, this
So,
it gets hectic here with the trucks more than anything else. I think that's really because in real life, that's the lower series. So you got some rookies that are and they're still learning how to use super speedways.
oh, absolutely. Don't get me wrong. This is, the second step to get into the Cup Series. But despite there being rookies here, I feel like these guys always put on the best show at Daytona during Speed Weeks.
I have to see what show these guys tend to put on as pace car is getting ready to pull off here. You see the lights have went off for them. Getting ready to come down pit road. And the battle, I need to pull up the actual points here. We know Teft is leading. He's only leading by 8 points, however, so that could change for him if Teft, especially if he gets involved in a wreck, that could open up the door for anybody. Pace car pulls off. Hoke and Wainscott leading them to green. As the green flag is in the air, we are underway here.
Now remember, it does take some time for these trucks to get up to full song. As you see Marquise pushing Wainscott way out front. And so that will allow those two to get out away from that top lane there that's being pulled by Truth Hoke in that number 55 truck.
Everybody looks like they're going to motion down towards the bottom a little bit. We're going to have somebody try that top line. I think that may be Hoke up there. And that is the silver and blue car there. He's getting a good shove from Teft. Teft going for the win here. Win will pretty much solve everything for him. It's just the better option for Teft. Go ahead and get the win. Don't even have to worry about anything else.
Absolutely, but one of the things that he also wants to think about is those bonus points for leading the most laps and leading a lap. That could, at the end, determine who gets the championship at the end of this race.
The 10, the 41, the 17, all going down this backstretch here, that bottom line. That high line's gotten a little bit of momentum. Treats is getting a pretty good shove from Teft. I think if you're worried, if you are one of these cars in line, you have to be kind of cautious about shoving too long because you can overheat pretty quickly. And when you overheat, it's not hard to cool them down, but you kind of get lost because unlike normal cars, there's no real indicator. I mean, your gauges will start flashing, but there's no check engine light or anything like that with these vehicles, so you got to keep an eye on it.
Absolutely, that's definitely one of the things you have to watch. Once that gauge starts flashing that red, you can guarantee I'm backed out and trying to get some air for my truck, because I want to be able to keep this thing going until the end, as we have somebody trying to look 3 wide on the outside, but he'll tuck right back again.
That may be the 4 Dennis Kane. I think he thought about it. He's like, there's just not worth it there. He's going to get back down the line.
Yeah, it's still a little too early, to be trying to make any kind of silly moves like that early in this race. So that was definitely a smart move, just tuck it back in line and wait for the laps to tick by.
You've got 80 laps. These guys have 75% fuel, so most likely they will need to pit 2 times at least, and then they should be able to make it to the end, I believe. So, yes, that is correct. Yeah.
Oh yeah. The guys that are pushing, they're going to be able to save a little bit more fuel than the 2 people that are pulling the lines. But I don't think it's really going to make that huge of a difference on pit road when they come down for fuel.
Yeah, and the only thing you got to worry about is if you're the leader here, you're going to be, of course, using way more fuel than everybody else. But I don't think they're going to be at such a huge deficit that they're going to be that hurt. They do need to keep an eye on that. As Hope will actually go to the lead there, he did a good job. Pep has been giving him a pretty good shove.
Absolutely, this battle for first definitely is heating up. Some really good side-by-side racing here. As they say on TV, they've got, it's 180 mile per hour pace lap. That's what these guys are doing at the moment.
Like pretty evenly split between the top and the bottom line. Looks like they thought about trying to make a move there, but they were against it. They're getting a little bit antsy here in the kind of the back portion of this line. They're not staying exactly in line with each other, but I'm not that worried about it. I think they're going to be fine. You can see that 196. He's moving up. That's Barry Nelson. Moves up just a tad. I'd be worried if I was maybe the car behind him or in front of him. I wouldn't be worried so much as being the car in front, maybe behind, because with him moving up and down, you don't know if you're going to accidentally make a little bit of contact with him, and then that ruins your race from that point on.
Really, you definitely don't want to, cause too much issues with somebody. So you definitely want to watch that for sure.
Just see what they do. Hoke is still locked up there. Teft is locked up there. One thing that we haven't seen a lot of is netcode in this series, which is kind of surprising to me. I don't know if iRacing's fixed it, which kind of be surprising if they were able to fix that, but we've not seen cars get into each other like I would expect them to. I would expect them to get into it all the time, but they just don't anymore.
Oh, absolutely. That's absolutely something that iRacing has been, trying hard to nip in the butt. But that's one of the things about, online sim racing is, not to go, out of character, in sorts, but at the end of the day, we are running all on PCs, and, everybody's internet's different.
I just need to see what they can do with that.
Yeah, I absolutely love the fact that we don't see netcode as much as we used to. I know I said it before, but I've been on the service for 15 years now, and netcode, we see it not even like we don't see it about 97% of the time now these days. Some races, you know, they're pretty bad, but for the majority part, it's pretty good.
Let's see what these guys can do. So 10 to 41, looks like they're going to stick to the bottom of 17. Appears that he will stick down there also. Hoke and Teft just staying on that high line. Looks like they're not being too aggressive with their pushes. And right now, I don't think that there's any need for them to be super aggressive with it either. So I think they've kind of realized that too.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Tef definitely needs to remember championship. That's what he's thinking about at this moment. And he's watching to see where Norris is, who's currently back in that 14th spot. So he's got a pretty good leeway right now. But maybe Norris is just waiting for the right time to strike for the end of this race.
Everybody so far is just lined up, and I think that's what we're going to see most of the time too. Yeah, everybody's. I mean, it's pretty evenly split down the middle on who's where. It's kind of surprising me. I wouldn't really expect that. I'd expect them to kind of be mixed up with each other, but they're not doing that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wayne Scott still going to run that bottom line. Just going to stick up on that high line. 10 laps in. Almost a little bit of contact there. They're starting to move around a little bit. Hope got up off that middle line. That could have been bad for him. Hope just still staying up there. I think that's a smart move if you're Hope. Just stay up in that high line. Don't move up anywhere.
Yeah.
Finally gets that shoved by, and he'll drop down to the bottom. So that will lead Teft to lead that outside line. I think he can get the 38 of Jack Kelly to help him here if he's just going to stay up there, kind of be stalled out a little bit. Back. Looks like everybody's been able to latch on to this main group, so they're not struggling here, staying with each other, which is a good sign to see.
Yep. I was just doing some quick math at the moment. The way they're currently running, there's an 18-point separation between Andrew and Austin, and the separation currently is just about 18 points.
Is it 18 points?
18 points.
Keep an eye on Austin back here. We're looking at Austin Norris, correct? Second place car. We're second in the points, right?
Correct. Yep. He's back in 15th at the moment.
So it may be smart for him just kind of to maybe ride back here as they're making a little bit of movement up front. Wayne Scott. He's going to go down in front of Teft, so Teft is able to work himself down to the bottom. Everybody else is staying on the high line. They're starting to venture down a little bit now, so I think they maybe realize that this isn't the best lane to be in, possibly. That's what they could be thinking. I'm not completely sure, though, but it's also going to help them save a little bit of fuel just running in a line. It's just a lot more draft. You have to throttle a lot more, but I think Norris he's gone with the strategy of, hey, I'm going to be here at the end. I'm not going to, absolutely destroy my chance here.
Yeah. to heat up here in the front with that Troy Thomas now leading that top side, trying to see if he can get his truck out to the front here on race leader Kirby Wayne Scott.
See what he can do. So Wayne Scott, he's leading the majority of this race. Wayne Scott did qualify on the pole. We've got to keep that in mind. So he just kind of have that pure speed at the moment. Let's see what Tef does. Looks like he's going to try to go to the outside. A little bit of a movement there, and there goes Troy. Will he save it? No, there's going to be a wreck behind.
Big, huge behind. Troy Thomas comes back, gets into a couple people, but everybody moves away. And it looks like Austin Norris did make it through that complete mess back there.
See, off the edge of the screen right there, we'll look at Troy. Not so sure he didn't get hit that sent him down there, because it looks like he got a little bit loose, and then people started fanning out behind him to avoid, and then it looks like somebody gets ran over. That's Aaron Marcus. Ran over, and then it's just on from there. Cars just nailing each other. Doesn't look like it's horrible damage for some of them, but that's definitely damage that they're going to need to fix.
Absolutely.
I think if you're one of these drivers here, maybe I come down pit road, get fuel, and I would not get tires. Tires, I feel like would just be kind of a waste right now at the moment. Yeah, I just feel like that's a smart thing to do.
So I just looked back here at Norris and his number 7 truck. He did get a little bit of contact in that, but I'm looking at where he made contact with that front end. I don't see any damage, so it just must have been just a nice little fender rub, just to bounce a car off of him, or a truck off of him. So he looks pretty clean other than that.
That's kind of one thing if you're fighting for points, is kind of it flashes for your eye right before your eyes is somebody coming across your nose, because you either avoid them or you don't. There's no in between, it seems like, and that could be one of the most heartbreaking things ever.
I agree 1,000% with that. All right, it looks like we may have some takers here down on pit road. Good opportunity for a lot of these guys to come on down and get damage repaired on their trucks. Looks like the Ford truck may be doing just that, as well as he has a big old dent in the front end.
Yeah, everybody's down pit road here, just looking at the timing. Nobody stayed out, which is kind of what I expected to see. Yeah, somebody's parked in their stall still. I wouldn't be so worried about the race off pit road. However, Norris gains a lot of positions with that pit stop, so maybe he can play that track position move, but Tef comes out only one spot behind him. So that could mean disaster for him possibly here.
That very well could be, absolutely. But you know what that means for us up here in the booth, Bryce?
Drama.
It's going a lot of drama. Because now with Norris up here, he's going to be thinking, hey, Taft, I want you to go drop to the back for me.
Yeah, and some people will be willing to do that, others won't.
Absolutely, absolutely. All right, so this totally changes everything here in the standings. Let me go ahead and get those updated numbers out here for you real quick.
The lights are going off in the pace car next time by, not this time.
Might go off. No, might go off this time.
Yeah, they should have gotten the 2 to go this last time by, so we should be getting ready to go green when they get back around to start finish line.
Will be Kelly, Wayne Scott, Norris, Teft, Carter, and Jackson, your top 6 drivers right now at the moment. Fest, he is one car pulling off a pit road right now. He is not a lap down, though. He'll be able to catch up to the tail end of the field. Trying to keep his fast repair for as long as possible. Which is a good move from him. Oh, no paint refresh here. To make sure their paints are coming in correctly. Pace car getting ready to pull off. Wayne Scott and Kelly will lead them back to green. 19 laps down of 80.
There's currently a 6-point difference now between the 2 leaders.
Gotta keep an eye on this battle the whole entire night. As the green flag is in the air, we are back underway.
Wayne Scott in that number 10 truck, he got a really good jump there, getting a big old push there by Andrew Teft. And the 38 of Jack Kelly, he's stuck all by himself so far on that inside line. And this is going to allow Teft to come up into that 2nd spot now. And that's going to drop Norris all the way back just to about that 6th spot on the inside.
Norris might want to settle in there possibly, see if he can get a little bit of a shove back up there. He's getting a little bit more movement up to 5th now. Wayne Scott due to manage this gap here. He's got Teft behind him. Teft, I think, has to play more defense as Kelly's going to go around, almost flips, and we have another caution here.
Big contacts there as well. Stephen Blevins, Kelly, Jack Kelly, Aaron Marquise, I believe, was involved. Oh, no, he got away. He got around.
Looks like he just came up, and then it's off, and it's on from there. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 trucks, it looks like, were involved in that incident. That's just that's the second time we saw somebody just come down. Come down, come up. It's just these small little movements. And it's basically the exact same spot through too. That's through the tri-oval. You got to keep that in mind. Maybe these cars are really upset going through that spot, and it's just making them looser than normal.
Absolutely. Aaron Carter in that number 1. Anderson truck, he got major contact when the 37 came back around on track from hitting that outside wall. So he got a lot of damage there, and the 2 truck has some damage too. A lot of fast trucks, I believe, might have been involved in this one.
See who comes down pit road. Got 4 guys with meatball flags. Wayne Scott's gonna stay out. Looks like a good majority of cars will come, or trucks will come down pit road, evidently, because some of them don't even have fenders. So Wayne Scott stays out. It's gonna be the kind of the odd one out on this. You'll see a lot of them sit on pit road, get damage fixed. Gonna be trying to get as much fixed as possible. You don't really want to be using your fast repair this early in it. Somebody's going through the dirt. I hear it, but I don't know who it is. Castle Fudge Vest. I think everybody else that was in the wreck popped their fast repair because I don't see anybody else. I don't see anybody else on pit road that was in that. And I'd be seeing them right now if they were. Castle's going to try to get most of his damage fixed. He does not have a right front fender, though, I believe.
That's what happened. So coming out of the pits, the 47 looked like he got out into the outside, came back down below the yellow, and pretty much right hooked the 196 into the outside wall.
Was that them coming down? Was that them coming down pit road? I heard somebody in the dirt.
Exiting.
Yeah, I was gonna say
they were.
Sorry, I could hear somebody in the dirt. I just didn't see it.
That would have been the 47.
Okay, so I'm not just hearing stuff. I don't have schizophrenia. I don't think. I was wondering. I was like, I hear somebody in the dirt, and now I don't know if the viewers can hear it, but I heard it. And I was like, there's somebody in it. What happens when you've got really keen hearing? Sometimes too keen.
Yeah, so that's actually the funny part. Nobody was actually in the grass. It was just the 47 on the outside of the green cone coming out of the pits.
I guess it just may be an audio cue or something like that I was hearing then possibly.
Yep. I believe that's what you're hearing because I didn't see anything else other than that.
See, a lot of guys are waiting. Actually, no, sorry, not waiting. They're catching up because they waited till like the very last second to come off pit road. They're trying to get as much fuel as they could, which is a smart thing to do. As much as you can. Excuse me.
Alright, so it looks like Kirby Wainscott, he's going to choose the outside for this restart, and that'll bring Andrew Teft down right in front of Austin Norris in that 7 truck. So it's going to be very interesting to see how this plays out.
Austin Norris could really just unleash the devil in him right now and just wreck Teft if he wanted to.
He could, but that would also mean a possibility of getting kicked out of the race, and that would be the last thing that he wants, as Wayne Scott gets a big jump there on that start and gets down in front of Teft, and I'm starting to think that's by design.
It most likely is. Just need to see what later on in the race is going to be. Well, now he's going to go to the how line, so
and
maybe it's
Teft
not.
is going to the outside. So this could possibly be Teft's lap to lead here if he can get down in front of Wayne Scott, which he does. So that's going to give Teft a bonus point for leading a lap if he can lead it all the way to the start-finish line here.
See what Teft can do. I think he's going to easily get this lap bled. Now, Norris needs to go up there and lead one himself just so he can somewhat even out the points. But it looks like right now he's going to be unable to. So what's he going to be able to do here?
Yeah. Here comes that outside lane led by the 14 there of Danny Jackson, but he's going to fall back now just a little bit to run side by side with Aaron Marquise. And here comes Norris on the outside of Wayne Scott. He's looking for help, but he does not have it. It's a little bit too late there for Jackson, but if Jackson can get up there to his back bumper, they might have a good run here coming out of turn 4.
I was going to say, he was trying to do something up there, but I don't think he's got any help or the help that he needs. And Teft just blinked. Now he's back. Let's see what Jackson can do. Jackson's not close enough to make a move. Wayne Scott's going to hop up and shut the door on Norris, and that's going to help Teft.
Absolutely. As Teft continues to have some sort of radio connection issues, his team is probably hollering at him, letting him know possibly change out his radios, because that can cause some big issues here, as we saw some big checkups there behind him just a moment ago.
You do not want to be the guy behind the person who is blinking. That is one of the scariest things to deal with. It's just not fun. It is not fun at all. I know I was a blinker before we got broadband internet. I know how it feels, and so sometimes there's literally nothing that you can do. Is that top line is just falling apart. They are not going anywhere. The eyes on that bottom line, that blue and white or white. What is that color? It's like a whitish brown. That's like a cream soda, cream
like
white. I don't know.
Like a cream
white. Hershey car or Hershey truck. I keep car, truck, same thing. They're both vehicles, but he's going to try to give Teft a little bit of a shove here. I think Teft is pretty content with riding that bottom line. As long as, they're not up on him too much, I think he'll be okay.
Yeah, Norris has good opportunities, to make ground on these front runners when they separate, but he's just about the same distance behind Wayne Scott, so he's not really making any ground distance-wise because of how far he is from the back bumper of that 10 machine. So as long as he can get a little bit closer and stay right on the tail end of that 10 truck, he'll be pretty good in terms of speed as they come out of turn 2.
See how it handles for all of them here.
Coming back to that blinking issue, I don't mind running behind somebody that is blinking, except on super speedways.
Yeah, every other track, it's honestly perfectly fine. It's just where you're so close at these tracks, especially if they disappear for a corner, you kind of have to lift out of the throttle because you don't know where they are. You don't know if they're the drivers that, once they realize that they're blinking, that they lift out of the throttle and try to get to the apron, or if they're just somebody who keeps it foot to the floor at that point. You really have no idea who that person is. You're hoping it's that they get out of the way, but they won't always do that, sadly.
Yeah, absolutely. And one of the biggest things is, I don't know how you do it, but if at any other track, if I notice a blinker, what I do is I tend to watch their lines just in case. So if I know that they're going low through 1 and 2 and they blink out, I know I'll need to go high through 1 and 2 next time, just in case.
Yeah, with me, it's kind of more of like, I guess it's where I've done it for so long. I'm like, they're blinking. I'm going to guess where they are, but I'm not going to drive any different. I'm just going to keep my foot down, and if they get turned, they get turned. It sucks, and it's kind of a jerk thing to think, but I'm not letting that affect me to a certain extent. Now, if it's super speedways, that's a completely different story. I will be super aware of where that person is, but other tracks, I'm just kind of like, whatever.
Absolutely, as Wayne Scott gets a good push by Norris just now, and that's what I was talking about, with them being so separated. But now that Norris has separated himself from Wayne Scott, that's going to drop them all the way back to 4th and 6th.
Need to see what these guys can do. Norris is just not. He's trying to work his way up front. He's doing a good job, but he's kind of doing it so slowly at the moment. So they pitted on lap 21 and 7. Excuse me, 21 and 17. 21 they'll get them to lap 55 most likely on that.
Yeah, that's a very good, strong possibility.
Yeah, being generous
and
on that.
Here they come down the back straightaway. Wayne Scott back out front, but Norris, he just keeps leaving too much of a gap on these straightaways, and this is where he's getting hurt the most. He needs to turn it around so that on the straights, he's on the back bumper of that 10 machine, and in the corner, he's off of him, and that's what's hurting him right now.
Yeah, Hoke is just going to continue to ride here. Try to take the lead on his own, but he's got absolutely zero help. He needs to get that 10 up on him to help him. He has got absolutely nothing.
Well, there's the 10. He said, "Hey, remember me?" As he gave him a nice shot there in turn 1.
Like
now this could,
or in the bottom line.
Yeah, this could be very good here for Norris as he goes 3 wide now, heading into turn number 3. Norris, what are you doing? I don't think that's a wise move, my dude.
He is. And thinking, well, now I was going to say he doesn't have any help. Now he's got help, and the Jackson's like, I kind of want to help. I kind of don't. A little bit of contact between the two.
And that right there.
Jackson needs to decide who he's going to go with. He's being so indecisive. I mean, you can see he keeps looking. He wants to do it, then he's like, no, yes, no, yes, no. He wants to. I mean, just pick a lane, man.
Absolutely. See, I'm not going to lie, I wish more people would run the outside lane. However, I mean, not to bash people here on iRacing, but
they suck.
At Daytona, they suck. Talladega, and you have a better opportunity to run 3 wide because you have 4 lanes. But Daytona, you have to be precise. You have to be precise at Daytona to be 3 wide, because if you're not precise, then that's all she wrote.
See Norris still trying to make his way up here. He's in a somewhat good position right now, but he just has to hope that Teff somehow struggles here.
Absolutely, I agree 100% with you. And here comes Hoke on that outside. And that AC Delco machine, he's going to get a good shove here by Wayne Scott and jump out to the lead. Now the question will be, will these 2 trucks move down now that they are clear from Teff?
Looks like they will. Kind of a little bit of a jumble up back there. It was Kane got out of line just a tad. I don't know if he got hit or what, but he definitely kind of poked out, and I didn't seem like somebody may have jammed their brakes and jammed them up and made them kind of stack up and spread out so they didn't have to plow into each other. That just hopped up into that high line. If you're Norris here, this is a chance to maybe hang Teft out, but you got to get Jackson a little bit closer to you, I would think here. I don't think Jackson's close enough to do anything.
Yeah, he's definitely not doing anything here, but that was a very smart move there by Teft. As long as he can keep Norris behind him, he knows he's good on that, no matter what position they finish. Now, what Norris is hoping is that Teft crashes out, because he needs as much points on him as he can, and he needs to finish 8 points behind Norris, or Norris needs to finish 8 points ahead of Teft in order to win the championship today.
Happening here, getting close to halfway in this race, and it's always, man, it's just stressful. Stressful if you're watching. If you're driving, you're somewhat relaxed, surprisingly, to a certain extent, depending on where you are. Like, if you're in the back of the pack and you're relaxed more than anything else. Castle's still getting his damage fixed. He's pretty much done. I think some of these other guys back here have some steering damage and some front end damage. They basically have to rely on the draft to save their life at all. I hope he's going to hop down in that bottom line.
guys still running up here in the top 5, you know, for the championship here. So it's interesting so far as Tefts continues to have a little bit of radio issues, and that caused Norris to back off just a little bit there down the back straightaway.
Let's see how they're thinking about it. And that's Teft again on that high line for Norris. See if you can get Jackson to go with you. That'd be a good option here if you're him. I'd see if he'd go. Scott do? Can Norris do? So boxed in right now. They're starting to get a little bit restless though. They're moving up and down just a little bit. They're not venturing too much, however, so they're keeping it pretty close with each other.
We are now back at a high-speed pace lap here. And here comes Norris with the push on Teft, but Wade Scott's giving Hoke a good push here on the back straightaway now. And they're going to hold some decent amount of momentum heading into turn 3 and 4 here. And with Teft keep disappearing, that's just going to drop those guys back a little bit more. So at this point, you know, if I was Norris, I'm going to try to make my way around Teft here, because now you're just holding me up.
Yeah, it's not a bad idea to kind of duck out. Say, hey, I'm kind of done with this. I need to get out of the way. See what we can do. As Wayne
Scott's making a move.
Yeah, Wayne Scott hopped to the high line. Norris, though, wants to go by himself. He's got Jackson coming with him this time, too. He's not being indecisive. 3 wide here.
3 wide for the race lead now. Trying to keep it there. Jackson still pushing Norris there on the outside as they continue to run 3 wide back there for the 5th spot, with little contact made by Norris and the 196 of Nelson as they get themselves sorted out.
Let's just see what they can do. Norris fell back a little bit and have to try to regroup himself now. It's not over for him. He's still got half the race left to work his way back up.
Absolutely. Still got plenty of time. 2.5 miles here at Daytona. It's a long time, especially running, you know, 48 seconds a lap. You know, so he's still got plenty of time.
Wayne Scott looks like he's going to try to get the lead here. Teft is trying to look to the inside. He wants to kind of venture down there, but he doesn't have the room that he needs quite just yet. So if he's able to make it, then it'll be good for him. But he wants to try it. He has the option to.
Yeah. Yep. They have just under 98 miles remaining in this race, so they still got plenty of time.
Be moving up a lot. Norris
big movement.
And Norris is still—he's that fourth truck out there in that top line. Wayne Scott still with the lead. Hope running second. A little bit of contact between those guys now. Now I drink. Excuse me. I have. Good Lord. Drink Gatorade. Do not do that. Bad idea.
I was about to say, what'd you do? That Sprite challenge?
No, I don't. Dude, I hadn't had a soda since my freshman year in or high school, and I just graduated college last year. So, in like 7 years, I have had anything carbonated. But Gatorade, I don't know what it does to me.
That's crazy. As there's a good run now coming on that outside. They're starting to work their way back towards the front.
I don't know. I feel like Teft is still holding them up here pretty hard. And I don't know. As well, I say that, and Teft goes to the front.
He's trying. Yeah, Norris is trying to make that third line work again. Because he's like, I know if I have help, this will work. But he's just having trouble trying to, get that help.
A little bit of movement there. Somebody gets shot down to the bottom. Norris, he wants to look. He's got somebody up there with him at 37. Issue is that 37 is going to be stuck between that 14 and the 55, so he's got no room up there. As Norris is kind of fading up to that higher line.
Oh, big hit there by Norris, causing, who was that? Barry Nelson to get down into Teft's side. And here comes that 37 around the outside, still running it 3 wide. He's like, y'all get out of my way. Let me show you how it's done out here.
Gonna say
As he's now making his way up to the third position here on the outside.
Gonna say I kind of watched them all scatter there, and he's up there by his lonesome though. He's got really no help, and he's gonna drop back down to that bottom line or middle line. Gonna lose about 4 spots at 37. Gonna try to get going here. But as I had a feeling they were actually, I was about 10 laps short.
Oh, they're pitting.
Oh, can y'all get down to pit road speed is the question. Everybody looks like they got it. Yeah, they did. They got down to pit road speed. Now, when does this group come? I feel like that's early. Maybe they're trying to time it, where they have to only pit this last time. I feel like he could have gone a lot longer than that.
Yeah, there's a good possibility, with that. But Norris, he might try to take advantage here, stay out, to get at least that bonus point for leading a lap, as he's still stuck on the outside. So there's a good possibility he's not pitting this time just yet, as he goes way wide in out of turn 4. I don't know why he went that high.
There is no doubt that Norris, he's trying everything he's got. I mean, I feel like he maybe has some, tricks still left up his sleeve. You don't want to put it all up there, though. But just keep that in mind.
Good point. That is a good point. But I've also been watching, he's a really good pusher, too. So he may be, doing just fine as a pusher. As you see Nelson take the lead there, now they're going around the 2 truck now of Mike Fudge, as these more drivers now are coming down pit road.
That's Nelson, Hoke, Kane, Marcus, and Thomas all came down. So Teff has been down. Norris is still out. Got to keep that in mind.
Yeah, I'm showing Alan Carter, Norris, Heisbrand, Jackson, Bray, Belvis, and Vest still need to come down for their final pit stop. All right, let's see if it... And here comes the rest of these guys. These guys are coming down pit road trying to woe it down.
Everybody's down. No one sped, so they did a good job of doing that. See if they can get clean in, clean out.
No harm, no foul for the rest of these guys, as your current race leaders are now coming through the tribal, and they're now approaching these cars or trucks coming out of the pits. Now the question will be, will Norris and Carter have enough time to get up to speed and tag on to the fast approaching, as you see them go by, of Andrew Teft and the 10 truck of Wayne Scott?
I don't know. I feel like they're gonna be close. And so you see or not Norris. He'll be able to hang on because he's got some trucks
Oh,
behind him.
trouble! Trouble!
Like up front, that was Nelson who goes around. And looks like it's not there. I thought that he made it through. The 92 of Timothy Eisbrun almost made it through. You go back and look to see what happened, because it happened with Nelson, evidently. It's like somebody tried to someone go 3 wide. They kind of crammed themselves in there, and it just didn't work out for him. And it was basically on from there. It's kind of weird. I don't know really what happened. And this body just got destroyed on the bottom. I don't really know what happened there. Like, guys just going for the same spot, and there's just not enough room. That's all I can really think of.
Yeah, for going slow mo here, looking at it, looks like the 38 came down the track just a little bit, and Barry Nelson, he went up the track a little bit here as they exited turn 4, and they kind of just met, and that turned Nelson into the wall. So very unfortunate there for both of those drivers. And then the 37, he was just an innocent bystander on the inside there. And the 41.
Oh, I don't think anybody got caught a lap down. They all should be fine on their track position, on being on the lead lap, that is. So I don't think we'll have to worry about that. Hopefully for them. But, you know, so how are the points looking right now?
As of now, the separation is actually pretty massive at the moment. Looks like probably good 14 points separates the two. Let me go ahead and pull out my calculator here once again. Let me figure all that out for you.
All right.
Alrighty, once all this gets here taken care of out of the pits, I'll be able to give you a definite answer on all that.
Say I didn't factor that in. We got 2 guys or one guy meatball flag. That's Aaron Marcus. He's gonna try to get all of his damage fixed with a smart move from him.
Yeah, so he's currently here in the 3rd spot is Teft. So he's going to come up with 41 points currently added to his 251, which includes him leading a lap. And that puts him currently at 2192 in points. And for Austin, who's back there running in the 8th spot, 43 was what he started with. And we're going to add 36 points to him. He's sitting at 2179, which brings them down to a separation of just 13 points.
I think it's going to be close for him. I don't think this is going to be decided till literally the last lap, because anything can happen at these tracks. Somebody can wreck, somebody can make a big mistake. It looks like they're going to come down and top off, so they're trying to stretch their field to the very, very end. Huh. I don't know why they're doing this. It's a little bit odd.
I step away to let my puppers into the room, and I come back, and they're all coming back down pit road.
Yeah, I think they're topping off just so they can get to the very end. So they're probably on the very, very edge of their window.
Yeah, for sure. They're definitely getting close to it. During this caution, I would like to give a couple shout outs if you don't mind.
Go for it.
I would like to first, give a big, huge shout out to Sim Racers Hub. Check them all out for your sim racing statistic needs. They have a very awesome program, that everybody should be using because it's absolutely awesome. You can keep track of how many starts people have, how many wins in your league, etc. So that's something pretty cool to have. So big shout out to Sim Racers Hub. Also would like to give a major shout out to SDK Gaming. They offer us all these amazing overlays that you currently see on your screens right now. So you guys definitely check them out. And if you guys do decide to sign up, make sure you guys sign up under Bryce. Just put in his information and give him a big shout out for using these amazing overlays, and hope to make you part of the SDK family.
Pace car is getting ready to pull in here. Starter has a flag in his hand. As the green flag is in the air, we are back underway here. The Blevins with the lead, and you got a black flag. Blevins has a black flag, most likely for a restart violation. This has really jumped up the whole field. As looks like he's getting way out of the way, which is a smart move from Blevins. I can respect that for him doing that. So he's going to get out of the way of those guys, not be a factor in trying to get to pit road. Well, he needs to get down to the bottom, though, so he can serve it. I just realized that. He's got to find some way to get down there.
Are you talking about Blevins in the number 51?
Yeah, he has a black flag for a restart violation, it looks like.
Yep, as they come out of turn 4, let's see if he's going to come down. He is not going to come down pit road this time.
I think he has a way to get down, even if he... No, he does. Maybe he's trying to debate that. Somebody... Who was... That was the 2, so that was Fudge. They looked the same for some odd reason. I got a little bit sidetracked on who was who.
Yeah, because I was going to say, Blevins is out front leading on the inside. He's getting a really good push now here by Brett Bray, who should be looking to possibly go high here out of turn 4 to give Blevins plenty of room to come down pit road.
And the only thing I could think of with Blevins is he's trying to talk to RC, or he's trying to maybe stretch his fuel a little bit longer to where he can maybe pit once and everybody else has to pit and he doesn't have to. Possibility that he's trying to do.
Yeah, absolutely. And I want to give out a big shout out as well to Chantel Pottle. You know, she does a phenomenal job, you know, doing the race control for this league. You know, she's always been on top of her game. She's does amazing paint schemes as well. So if you guys need anything, you know, paint scheme wise, hit up Chantel Pottle. You know, Pottle Racing, I believe she goes under. I think. So check her out. Check out some of her schemes. They're absolutely amazing. And I just heard from Race Control that the 51 has his penalty waived, so it seems like there was no issues on that restart.
And our racing's restart thing is really funky too. Maybe that truck spun their tires, or there's a wreck before it. If you pass somebody on the outside, it'll give you inside. It'll give you a black flag, which just shouldn't happen. So luckily that got sorted out. That's why live race control is a good thing to have, but it's just hard to get.
Yeah, absolutely. Which there is something coming for that, by the way, Bryce. But I can't say just yet, but there's a league out there that has something huge coming. So you just may want to keep an eye on, listen out for some news from majors, from the major series. Just a heads up. There's an awesome deal coming out for them soon. I'm just not allowed to say what yet.
Brett Bray, he's going to be the one that's odd on fuel at that lap 48. But he doesn't have the same amount of fuel as everybody else. He's got to keep that in mind. And this, I need to pin something really quickly.
Go for it.
There we go. Looks like that's done there.
Looks like everything's starting to get a little uniform here in single file wise. No one's really making a huge difference, making any moves just yet, as they just now wanting to pretty much run single file.
A little bit of movement down there towards the bottom. See if they can get that sorted.
Give them some room. The 37 there. No, not 37. I'm sorry. Who's up in there? The number 92. He almost was not able to get up, and he kind of had to shove somebody out of the way to make some room.
So I keep an eye on this playoff car. They're still relatively towards the back of this pack, and I think this may be a move to try to save some fuel. So we can save some fuel here. Maybe you won't have to pit, skip that pit stop, something like that for him. We'll just have to keep an eye on this.
And we now have just under 20 laps remaining here tonight at Daytona, and less than 20 laps to determine our champion for this season. And right now, Teft is back in that 9th spot with Norris all the way back in 16th. So this isn't looking too hot now, you know, win-wise. However, as they run, Teft will still walk away with that championship.
7, 49, 69. Most people are flat out, but I think they're just getting a lot more fuel. So they put it on lap 52. That'd be asking a lot of their fuel. You could maybe short pit it here and then just go hard from that point onwards, but I don't know what their move's gonna be. Just gonna have to find out. I can only guess to a certain extent.
Yeah, absolutely. Give me just a moment. I'm going to do another little calculation here on something. And I'll let you know what that is about. Give me just one moment.
Marcus is even further off. He's 50 on fuel, so he's not going to be able to make it. Ray, I think he is putting a nail in the coffin with him leading like this. I would not be doing this. He is going to be really struggling because of it.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Everybody's on the bottom, though, so you can see this is just flat-out fuel saving right now. And I think whoever gets the green light on their fuel when they really know that they'll be able to make it, I think that they will just be straight up just foot to the floor after that. But you have to know you can make it. You do not want to be guessing on that. Evans, Carter, Norris. This is probably killing Norris because he wants to make a move up or to get past Tef, but there just really isn't anything that he can do at this point. Bray, Carter, Eisbren. Nelson's hopped out to that high line now. He's going to try to make a little bit of a move. See if he can get anything going. Just don't think he's going to be able to. I see the 17. He's trying to make a move now. Who is that? That's not 17. That is, who is this up there? The 47. Excuse me, that's Fudge, or Pete, or that's Pete Polini. He's trying to, he's realized maybe his fuel is good to the end. He can kind of just try to gain some spots, maybe tuck back in. Save a little bit of fuel, because they're running about 5/10 off of their fastest laps, and Nelson's been able to make some ground up just being on the high line on his own. Nelson did pit at lap 51, so he did come down and top off. I wonder if the 47 and him can find each other. Fudge makes a little bit of a move up high, decides not to go for it. Kind of decided against it there.
So I broke down some numbers here real quick. I was just very curious on, like, if something were to happen to Andrew Teft and Norris, uh, he would still have no chance to win the championship, even if he finished first and took away, with all 3 of your bonus points. So there's absolutely no way for Chavez to walk out of here champion. So this is what I've ultimately got. Teft, he needs to finish top 2 and avoid Norris from sweeping all the bonuses. A win will guarantee the championship no matter what happens. Norris, he must win the race, ideally collect all the bonus points as well, unless if Norris finishes 5th or worse. So as long as Teft finishes 5th or worse and Norris gets all 3 bonus points, that's the only way he can clinch the championship. And if he does not get any of the bonus points except the one for leading a lap, Teft will have to finish at least 7th or worse.
Well, now you know what the situation is with 11 laps to go. Will that happen? Will it not happen? The way it's looking right now, Norris has just got nowhere to go. But
Norris is back there in that 14th spot.
Just one, event, though, can change everything. I mean, it really can. It'll open up the door for everybody. Got to be extremely careful here.
Absolutely, and I just want to point out there is at least a 3-4 car length difference between Norris and that 06 directly in front of him of Steve Vast. So Norris has got to get that gap reclosed, and with it coming down, to 9 to go this time by, he's going to have to start making his moves to the front because we have less than, maybe 30 miles left in this race?
And I think they're still in fuel saving. Some guys have flipped the switch, though, but this front pack up here is still fuel saving. They're running 48s. The guys back here behind them are running 47.7s. So I think that they've kind of said, screw the fuel saving. We're going to start going now because they have definitely picked up the pace just looking at the lap times. So it's going to start getting jumbled up here. Now, a caution wouldn't be a bad thing. It would, I think, it'd get everybody to the end. But you got to wonder, do they throw their brains away even further from that point?
Oh, absolutely. That's definitely the big question here. As Brett Bray in that number 17 continues to lead this field in that Fastenal Ford F-150 pickup. He's been quite up there in the top 5 most of the day. So big shout out there for Bray, just hanging tight, just going around, having fun. And then Frank Chavez, he's worked his way all the way up to that 5th spot. If he finishes there, he will finish 3rd in the points no matter what. So it's a good day for him. Not how he wanted to end the season in 3rd in points, but very, very good run there for Frank Chavez in that number 13 truck.
Yeah, looking at the lap times from the last lap, they definitely. Well, no, now they're way slower, so they're still trying to manage their field. Nobody knows if they can make it. They picked it up the last lap. This lap, they were almost a whole second slower on their time, so they are trying to stretch this fuel, and I don't know if they're going to be able to do it. I think it's going to be, honestly, these guys that are riding in the back that are going to be able to make it.
It's definitely going to be very interesting here. I'm going to tune in to the voice chat. And,
oh, hold on. Here we go. We got pit stops. So some guys are going to hit at the very last second, get just enough fuel. I don't know if you can make it here. You can try to stretch it. You really can. But that is going to be so gutsy. I just don't know if you can make that there.
it is going to be an absolute massive hit or miss here. I don't know if there's going to be enough time or enough time for these guys to save. As you see, Norris, he's looking to make some moves on this outside, heading up towards 4th spot here in the closing laps.
I'm gonna say I saw Norris was one of those trucks all the way in the back. So he will get up there to 3rd. So what did you say the situation was for Norris again?
Norris needs to win, lead the most laps,
Well, evidently
and lead a lap.
He can't lead the most laps, sure.
Right, because he's still to lead a lap. As Teft, he's trying to make some noise on that outside to get back in front of Norris. No one's with him, but now there is one truck that jumped up behind him. No, he went back down. And now the 51 of Blevins, he's going to get a push from Hoke to take over that top spot. I think the 92, he might be looking to come down pit road this time as he dropped towards the back. Yeah, so Norris needs to win 2 bonus points, and Teft, he will need to finish 7th or worse. That's what we are currently looking at.
I wonder if Teft can make it. These guys in the back are laying off even more. They're running 49. That's they're about more than a second and a half off the pace. And Teft, I don't know if Teft can make it. I don't know if these guys up front can make it. I think Norris maybe might have played his fuel absolutely perfect here.
Yep. In order, if say like he finishes here in 3rd. Let me see.
I just feel like that's a really hard thing to dig back from. This fuel it's such a hard thing to just manage. So, and you know, once you jump ahead, you can't really earn that fuel back. You have to really, really lay off if you're going to do that.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it is 2 to go here. They're making a lot of moves now. Teft is going to try to go for the lead here. A little bit of movement here around Norris. Teft trying to just secure the deal. Question is, if these guys get racing and wreck each other, that is not unheard of. They go down the backstretch here. Danny Jackson trying to make a move to the outside. He's going to be able to get a little bit of a shove here. Not sure who it's from. Somebody's got a black flag. That is Alan Carter. It's the 4 of Kane giving him a shove. Norris trying to find a gap. He's got to hope that Jackson can get up there as they're going to come off of 4 here. Norris has help with Dennis Kane behind him. Somebody's going to duck off. That looks like that may be... I'm not sure exactly who that was. That was an American paint scheme, though. Norris is going to make a move now. Yeah, he's going to say he had a lane up, but Jackson, he has not been a good pusher the whole entire night. Norris has got to stay close to that quarter panel. He's trying to get there, and I think he doesn't have it. He doesn't have the quarter panel on Hoke. So that may be the race slipping away from Norris. There's Tefton to go up to block that high line. Throws a block there, and Norris giving him a shove. See if he tries to shove him down. And chasing, they're wrecking in the back. Actually, here comes Norris on the outside of Teft. He's got to side drive as hard as he can.
This could be it for all the marbles. Good push there by the 14 coming out of turn number 4. Teft has no help now on the inside. It looks like Norris will take the win, but it's not going to be enough.
Oh, it's going to be Teft!
Teft wins the championship by a nose.
I was going to say, I was watching that, and I had a feeling that Jackson was going to come and help, but he really didn't help as much as I thought he would. And Teft was able to sneak the win there. So Teft wins the championship and the race in
a nail biter there. For me, it shows 1/100th of a second that he won
All
it
I am
by.
saying is wow, wow, wow. Let me get the final calculations here for everybody. So
Norris was so
Austin,
close.
yeah, Norris Austin, he did not lead a lap, and that is very unfortunate for him. 41, 40, or 21:43. And he came in second, which puts him at 21:85. And I'm trying to see who had the fastest lap. Or two. Okay, so it was not Teft or Norris who had the fastest lap.
Had to wait for it to. It was taking forever to get the final freaking score of the game. I don't know what it was doing. Having a little bit of a seizure there, apparently. He didn't know what to do.
Yeah. So 21:51 plus the one lap or bonus point for leading the lap. So he gets 46 points for winning the race as well. So the separation between the two leaders is only 12 points.
That's going to be heartbreaking for Norris. We'll bring in the top 3 finishers here, though. And Danny Jackson first. Hey, Danny, this is Bryce and Mike in the booth. Got a copy, man?
Yeah, I gotcha.
Man, so you come home third. You fall just a little bit short. What was going through your head that last lap, though? Because it got hectic there towards the end.
Oh, I mean, the last fuel run, I mean, we were saving all the way in the back, and we knew that coming into 5 to go, it was going to start getting wild. Guys started pulling out of line, and we said, all right, it's time to go. We got up there towards the end, the last couple laps, and then we knew it was going to be Andrew and Truth versus me and Austin there, and we were just going to race it out to the line, and we're trying to save. We could have saved a little bit more going into 3, and we all ran out coming to the line in the trial. So Truth ran out coming out of 4, so it was just heads up, both teams going for the championship, and Andrew came out on top in the end, so congratulations to him. But that was a fun race.
And so, how has the season gone for you overall, though, man? Because it seems like it's not been a horrible season for you.
Well, yeah, I mean, I started off strong. I think I'm a decent super speedway racer. We get all our tips from Stephen Blevins. He's our resident super speedway guy. So it hasn't been too bad of a season. Just trying to stay with the strategy, get used to the long green flag runs with the fuel. So I had some good finishes in there, had a couple bad ones. That wreck there at Atlanta kind of took me out of contention. So that the mission was get one of my teammates to the championship, get him the win. So yeah, I mean, it was good experience overall for the season. Just came up short a few times, but live and you learn, get some more experience. And we'll try again next time.
All right, man. Well, before I let you go, is there anybody you want to thank? Any sponsors you want to shout out that may have been watching the stream here tonight?
I want to shout out Big Whisk Green Chili Jam. That's one of our team sponsors. And I want to shout out all my teammates at Sky Motorsports and shout out Andrew for putting this whole thing together. Racers Elite couldn't be running without him. So just shout out to them and the whole Racers Elite team.
All right, man. Well, I will let you go. Good job coming home third tonight, man.
Yep. Thanks.
Daniel Jackson, the third place driver. We will bring home the second place driver, bring in the second place driver, Austin Norris. Hey, Austin, this is Bryce and Mike in the booth. You got a copy, man?
Yes, sir, buddy. What's up?
Man, you fall just a little bit short there at the end. I thought you had a, what was going through your head that final lap?
The whole run there at the end, everybody was trying to make sure you could save and have enough, and wanted to stay in line as long as I could. And then of course me and Daddy jumped out trying to get a run, but we both ran out of fuel. I was sputtering at the line, so I mean I gave it literally everything I had. So
Yeah, I was gonna say wonder if Tef sputter, because I mean it looks like you had a really good run. I mean it was pretty much your race to lose there, but I mean that would explain why you weren't able to stay in the throttle completely there. But how did the race go for you overall though? Because it seemed like you just had just struggles just getting up front. It seems like you just can never find the right line to be in.
well, I mean, so from the green flag drop, I had no plans of getting to the front because I mean I have bad luck at super speedways of getting to the front and being stuck there. So you never know how these are going to go with green flag stop. So I didn't want to lead at all because I didn't want to, get stuck using more fuel. So the whole plan was just, stay in line 3 or 4 back, middle of the pack, save fuel, save fuel, save fuel. And then, that last caution came out that put us all super close. I wish it would have happened 5 or 6 laps later, but it put us all super close. So then that whole last segment, we just kind of all ran around in single file trying to hope that one of us could save more than the other.
I was gonna say I was looking at that and I saw the times pick up and then they dropped down immediately and I was like, good lord, they are like dropping quickly because they were running 49 sevens at one point. I was like, yeah, they're gonna be close on fuel. But how did the season go for you overall though, man?
Yeah, I mean, season went great. Of course, this is, my first season with, Racers Elite. So, that's always pretty cool to end it the way I did. But, picked up 2 wins, got a pole or two somewhere or another. And then, coming in tonight, me and Andrew talked about it last week. I was going to be 6 or 7 points off. So I had to either win and beat them by a couple spots or, hope to beat them by 7 or 8 spots. But I mean, that he's not going to finish deep in the field regardless. So you had to win and hope he got, shuffled out. And that was kind of the plan there at the end was, if Danny's pushing me, I take the win, Tef falls to third. It might come to a tie or something, but, just season played out good. I mean, I can't ask for any more besides, hopefully, wish I could have got the win there at the end. But I mean, all in all, pretty good season.
All right, man. Well, before I let you go, is there any sponsors you want to shout out that may have been watching the stream here tonight?
Yeah, I mean, first and foremost, want to shout out, Sky Motorsports. Had the 2-3 finish, so that's always nice. Steven got messed up on fuel, so he was a little bit deeper. Primary sponsors, W Energy, and then as well as Green Chili Jam. So I want to thank those guys, all the family watching. My nephew, his name's on the truck, so would have liked to see them in victory lane with me, but second ain't too bad, I guess.
All right, man. Well, I'll let you go. Good job coming home second tonight, man.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it.
Austin Norris, he's second place driver. We will bring in the race winner in Andrew Teft. Hey, Andrew, this is Bryson Mike in the booth. Got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
And so you come home with the win there at the line. How close were y'all on fuel? Because Norris said that he ran out sputtering to the line.
Yeah, I was just talking to him a little bit. I lost my help because Truth ran out behind me, and I thought they were both just going to pass me on the outside, but I guess he ran out just before the line, and I was confused why I was still pulling him when I didn't have any help, but it makes sense now. I ran out right after we crossed, and he ran out right before we crossed, so it was just really close all the way around. Just a really incredible way to cap the season off.
What was going through your really? How did the race go for you overall? Because it seemed like you were up front the whole entire night, so you kind of had a game plan. It looked like.
Yeah, the fuel strategy kind of changed throughout with the different yellows, and there were points where we didn't need to save it all, and points where we needed to save a ton, like that last run. But most of it had to do with that. When I could race, I tried to race and stay up front and stay out of trouble, and that seemed to pay off. Everything seemed to happen just behind me, but it you had to have a bunch of different skills tonight to pull this one off, that's for sure.
So how did the season go for you overall, though? Because it seemed like you were always a factor at these tracks.
Yeah, just same kind of answer, really. I try to do my passing under the yellows when We're not racing side by side, not risk of wrecking the car, and you can shorten your pit stops by just saving fuel out there while you're riding around, and I'm pretty good at doing that. So it helps me make up some spots when we come in for pit stops, and I try to pass cars. I'm kind of giving away my secrets, but when everybody's come, when I like to go to the outside and pass the field. It's usually a pretty safe time to do it. But yeah, I try to stay out of the middle of the pack. I'll either start at the back or start at the front, and if I'm in the middle, I'll either bail or try to get to the front quickly because it just feels like a danger zone.
Man, well, before I let you go, is there anybody you want to thank? Any sponsors you want to shout out that may have been watching the stream here tonight?
Yeah, I want to thank you guys for helping out in the booth all season. You over at Ghost Racing Network, and want to thank our servicemen and women, friends, family, team, everybody that tunes in to watch, shows up to race. And if you don't mind doing us a favor, hit that subscribe button on our YouTube channel homepage. We're trying to get to 1,000, and I think we're only about 240 away now. So thank you to everybody that's done that so far, and we appreciate it if you do.
All right, man. Well, I will let you go. Good job coming on with the win tonight, man.
Yeah, and congrats to Austin. You ran a really great season.
Andrew Teft, the race winner. Go over the top 10. Teft, Norris, third, Danny Jackson, fourth, Troy Thomas, fifth, Dennis Kane, sixth, Truth Hoax, seventh, Kirby Winscott, eighth, Brent Bray, ninth, Barry Nelson, 10th, Mike Fudge. Mike, so how was that race from your point of view? Because it got interesting down there towards the end with the fuel mileage.
I said at the beginning, I absolutely love trucks, nighttime, and Daytona. This race did not disappoint whatsoever. All I have to say is the final lap, exactly what I expected. Close finish, very tight on fuel, side by side for the win. And at the end of the day, Teft came out with the win by a nose and took home the championship. It was a fantastic race overall. I really enjoyed it, and I'm looking forward to some more action next season.
Hopefully, I will be back next season, but I'm not going to keep you all here any longer, so I will let you all go.